Among the most difficult, most hurtful, most painful, and even most traumatic experiences that one can go through in their life is having to deal with the conflicts and opposition of their own family. Family abuse, family violence is quite rampant in the world these days. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses it in the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. A teenager, barely past the age of 15 or 16, maybe even 12 years old, according to some historians. He had to face his own father, and his father was among the elites of the people of Ur. His father used to make idols and statues for people to buy and worship. So he was at the heart of it all. Ibrahim alayhi salam cannot go forward without speaking to his own family who he cared about and loved the most. Ask any child who has their grandparents, their uncles and aunts in their life and their cousins. They will say to you, I feel whole. I feel like I exist. Take that away from them and you feel in a barren desert. Ibrahim alayhi salam had to endure that with his father. When he came to him one day and spoke to him out of love and compassion, he said to him, as recited in Surah Maryam, وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ صِدِّيقًا نَبِيًّا. Allah says, and relate in the book or remember the story of Abraham. He was surely an honest, rightly guided prophet of Allah. He was honest to himself and he now wanted to be honest to his family. He faces his father and says to him in the most compassionate and loving way, but with pain in his heart and fear that his father may reject the truth. But it was not about accepting what he says to his father, for Ibrahim a.s. wasn't thinking about himself. He was truly and honestly thinking about the welfare and well-being of his father, not only in this world, but in the hereafter. For when you know and have seen what the hereafter has in store for us, your family become the most important people to save before anyone else. For the hereafter is eternal. And how can the hereafter be enjoyable without the people that you love being with you in paradise? He said to him, إِذْ قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ لِمَ تَعْبُدُ مَا لَا يَسْمَعُ وَلَا يُبْصِرُ وَلَا يُغْنِي عَنْكَ شَيْئًا. Behold, when he said to his father, O my dear beloved father, the term used is Ya Abati, which means, O my close beloved father, I can't understand why you worship things that cannot hear, cannot see, and cannot benefit you in anything good or bad. He's talking about the idols and the celestial bodies in the heavens, the zodiac signs and all of that. And then he said, يا أبت إني قد جاءني من العلم ما لم يأتك فاتبعني أهدك صراطا سويا. He says, Oh my dear beloved father, a knowledge has come to me that has not yet come to you. Follow me, my dad, and I will be able to guide you on that which is a more straighter path, a path that makes more sense. And then he kept on going. يا أبت لا تعبد الشيطان إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا. Oh my dear beloved father, don't allow yourselves to follow and obey the evil people and the evil shaitan. Shaitan just means those who call to evil. The shaitan, he says, was always a disobedient one to the most merciful. Oh my father, I am calling you to a merciful God, one who will give you value, not one who calls people to make themselves into hierarchies where the top uses and oppresses the ones at the bottom. And then he says, Ya abati, again, oh my dear beloved father, إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. Oh my dear beloved father, I fear that a punishment may touch you from the most merciful Allah, And then you end up becoming an ally, a partner, a friend of the shaitan. My brothers and sisters, if you recognize how Ibrahim alayhi salam is speaking to his father, there is this true love from the depth of his heart for his father in the way that he approaches him. Even though he knew that his father was tough, rough, and stubborn in his approach, his father saw himself as one of those aristocrats, people who saw themselves better than others, entrepreneurs of the highest esteem. But not only that, because you can be an entrepreneur and a kind-hearted person, but he was one of those who saw himself above others, and his son had to follow him. And that if he were to listen to his son and follow this other way, it meant that he went against everything he believed in. His father knew that there was something wrong with their own beliefs, but unfortunately, his status and his esteem among the people was more important. Unfortunately, his father returned very sternly towards his son, and he even threatened him. He said, أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم. Says, do you think that you can turn your back on my own gods which I worship, O Ibrahim? How dare you turn against what I've taught you? How dare you turn against your family's pride and honor, which is based on the gods that we worship? لَإِن لَمْ تَنْتَهِ لَأَرْجُمَنَّكَ. If you do not stop talking about that stuff, O Ibrahim, I'm going to flog you. I'm going to stone you with rocks until you bleed and die. That's what he's saying. He literally threatened to kill him. He literally threatened to torture him. وَاهْجُرْنِي مَلِيًّا. If you don't stop, I'm going to stone you. And if you don't want to be stoned to death, you better get out of here. Run away, Ibrahim. I disown you. You have no place in my home. You can imagine as though his eyes are filled with tears, his heart is fluttering with pain for his father. And the only words his son could say were these. قَالَ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكَ. He replied to his father, peace be upon you, Dad. Ibrahim alayhi salam knew that he cannot change the behavior of his father. For we cannot change the behavior of people we love around us, no matter how far they go in losthood. But we can control our own behavior. So Ibrahim alayhi salam did only that. He could have replied to his father in stern ways as the way he spoke. He could have told him bad words. He could have said to him, uff, and you're a this and you're a that. But instead, he said to him, peace be with you, Dad. It means, in other words, I fear that you may not find peace. And then he said, سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. I will ask Allah to forgive you, Dad. I have found that He never denies me any request. My Lord will never abandon me, Dad. I'll be okay, and I hope that you will be guided. And I will stay away from you and what you worship, as you have asked me to do. I will walk alone. My Lord is with me. And so, Ibrahim alayhi salam became disowned by his own family. He had to walk a path alone, but Allah was with him. Now, Ibrahim alayhi salam was barren. He was open to the oppression, the bullying, and the hardship of the people around him, knowing that he has no more support. How will Ibrahim alayhi salam now face his people? مِلَّةَ أَبِيكُمْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ